In the aftermath of India's Hockey World Cup debacle, the future seemed to be pretty bleak. Because the Hockey World Cup was going to be one of your key preparations if you have to look at Olympic glory. There is the matter of the FIH Pro League though, because the Pro League often gives out the best, and because if you are a team that wants to have international success on a consistent basis, the FIH Pro League is your ultimate testing ground. However, in the aftermath of the World Cup, we have seen something very spectacular from the India men's hockey team, and that is winning on a consistent basis. The 4 games that they have had in the FIH Pro League at home, 2 against World Cup champions Germany and 2 against their eternal rivals Australia. That is an indication that perhaps you can look at the future with a lot of clarity and with a lot of positivity, because what has happened in these 4 games that has ensured Indian hockey fans can get that same amount of hope. It is this. India are on top of the league in this, because look at the teams that are behind them. There is Spain, there is Argentina, there is Germany, Great Britain, Australia, Belgium, Netherlands, the top 3 teams in world hockey. They are at the bottom of the FIH Pro League. The technicality is, yes, they have played fewer games. India have played a lot more. So when Belgium, Netherlands and Australia all play a lot more, they could probably go up in the rankings. But Australia, this has been a very, very sad FIH Pro League cycle for them. Unlike their previous editions. Remember, in the previous edition, they did not play because of COVID. In the previous, before that, they had managed to do really, really well. But India, it is a shot in the arm for them that they have gone to the top of the FIH Pro League standings, at least now. So, what seems to be working for them? Because there is an appointment of a new coach, Craig Fulton. He'll be joining in the next couple of weeks. But before that, there has already been a solid base left behind, because Craig Fulton, remember, he has worked with Belgium and he's also worked with Ireland. In Belgium, he was one of the assistant coaches and he helped form a very, very formidable team there. Even with Ireland, he had tremendous success. So, already the foundations have been laid for India to do very, very well before even Fulton takes charge. Now in this Pro League, in this current cycle so far, they have won 7 out of the 8 matches. Their 1 loss came to Spain. They have won twice against New Zealand. They have won once against Spain, that too in a penalty shootout. They have beaten World Cup champions Germany twice and Australia twice. That's the final point. Beating World Cup champions Germany and Australia twice is a major feat. I mean, Australia twice in particular is a huge occasion. When was the last time that India defeated Australia on 2 consecutive occasions? You would have to go back probably to 10 to 15 years back to dig out the data. Australia have always been India's bogey team in hockey. And Germany, on the other hand, after the resurgence that they had in the World Cup win, these 2 losses have pegged them back actually. So, what is working for Team India? What is the major factor that is working for Team India? Emergence of Pawan as a reliable keeper backup to Srijesh and Krishan Patak. The main thing that is working for India in this FIH Pro League is PR Srijesh. Because Srijesh, with his on-field inputs and the way how he holds his nerve in a penalty shootout, that is the key factor. And remember, Krishan Patak also tried, but in the World Cup pressure got to him and that is why he could not do it. And in the shootout against New Zealand, unfortunately Srijesh suffered that injury and that is why Krishan Patak could not step up. But Pawan has now emerged as one of the keepers who can be relied upon. And in the shootouts that happened, he was actually spot on. Sukhjit Singh and Karthi Selvam. Now, because India needed a lot more attacking forwards, they finally have found 2 people in Sukhjit Singh and Karthi Selvam. In fact, it was Karthi Selvam and Sukhjit who laid the foundation for their wins against Germany, because they attacked and the German defense wilted in their consistency. And on top of that, the veterans stepped up in the clashes against Australia. But there are two tactical changes that the Indian team has made that has changed their entire fortunes. One is Hardik Singh. Hardik Singh, if you remember in the World Cup, he was playing more in the wings towards the edges. Here he is in the midfield. And that has increased India's attacking capability many-fold. Because remember, in the World Cup, if Harmanpreet had failed, Hardik was your key player. Manpreet Singh, India's most experienced player, is now in the defense. Yes, Australia may have scored goals, Germany may have scored goals, but remember, India were not conceding goals on a frequent basis like they did in the World Cup because their backline was compromised. But with Manpreet Singh's presence, India now have a very solid backline, and that has given confidence for the attackers to go ahead. But there are some major developments which have ensured that India's team looks a bit more all-round, because Harmanpreet Singh is finally scoring. Yes, it was his hat-trick that ensured India beat Australia, and also his penalty conversions are also back on. What was the major bone of contention in the World Cup? Harmanpreet Singh missing penalties on a consistent basis, penalty conversions on a consistent basis. India were really undone by Harmanpreet Singh not being in form, and in this FIH Pro League, he has been sensational. But what has given Harmanpreet that confidence? Because in addition to Harmanpreet Singh, the drag flicker, there is one more, and that is Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh has ensured that having two drag flickers is changing the entire dynamics, because I'll tell you why. During the World Cup, every team had a plan for Harmanpreet Singh. Simple. Why did every team have a plan only for Harmanpreet Singh? Because he was the only drag flicker there for India. Now, having only one player, man-for-man marking, it would have been easier. So it was simple. They would charge, cut off the angles, and ensure that Harmanpreet Singh would not score. Everybody could think what Harmanpreet Singh was doing. But with the addition of Yuvraj Singh, now opponents are guessing what is going to happen. If Harmanpreet Singh fails, no problem. There is Yuvraj Singh to fall back upon. So Yuvraj Singh's emergence as a drag flicker has increased India's attacking potency brilliantly. And remember, now after this, in the FIH Pro League, in the coming 4 to 5 months, you are also going to prepare for the Asian Games, where India have been denied in crunch situations. And having this combination is only going to help them even better. Yes, it is time to celebrate. Yes, very rarely India have been on top in major competitions. The FIH Pro League is one of them. India are on top, we must celebrate. But there are challenges. Need increased levels of fitness. That might happen when Fulton takes charge. But the second point, mental strength in crunch situations. This is the only problem that India are facing at this point in time. In the World Cup, there was also the thing that maybe there were botched team compositions and selection calls. But that is subjective and depending upon instinct. But mental strength. Imagine whenever they have come to the finals, whenever they have come to a key situation of elimination, India have suffered. The classic case was the shootout that they had against New Zealand. India were leading 3-1, but they allowed New Zealand to come back 3-3. And then in the shootout, when it went to sudden death, India were eliminated. Now, when they face teams like Belgium, Netherlands, yes, the Kookaburras might have been an exception because, see, they might probably not have been playing their full strength team. But yes, even a weakened Australia outfit is dangerous. Asian Games and then Olympics. These are the two things now where India will have to really up their mental strength. Because in the Asiad of 2018, they had lost to Malaysia on sudden death. 7-6 they lost on penalties. Mental strength at that time was exposed that India are not mentally capable of handling pressure. This last point is a word of caution that heading into Asian Games year and Olympic year, this is the key factor. So it is celebration time for Indian hockey. We celebrate with caution because remember, there are tougher challenges ahead. They have to play Belgium, they have to play Netherlands. There's also the Asian Games and there is also the Paris Olympics next year. So we hope that Indian hockey maintains its consistency and they can scale greater heights after the fall of the World Cup. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this special video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And also, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Subscribe there as well. Thank you.